October the 7th, 2024. Guys, a lot's going on this planet right now. It looks like Israel's in full-scale war on its northern border. October 7th, been a year since that invasion. That looks like what's going on. Now, we got a Cat 5 forming, guys. Cat 5. And with a gust of 165 knots, that's 190 mile per hour gust. Think about that. A Cat 5 forming over in the deep section. It's almost a Cat 4 right now. And having this much room to move and everything streaming right into the Florida area. Now, we'll take a look at the models. The National Hurricane Center model has got it tracking maybe 20 miles further south than the last report coming into Florida. But it's all this area right there is still in the gun. We'll look at those models. But this is a strong storm. And a quick look at the infrared, guys. You can see where the eye is clearly forming this thing. It's going to be a disaster wherever it hits. But, again, the path is not deviating much at all from the last few. I'll show you that. But, guys, look at that eye right there. It's going to be, I said at the beginning, with that much room and moving at that slow speed, we could have a 4 or 5 on our hand. And I'm going to show you the printout from the National Hurricane Center this morning. Now, the pressure's dropping, guys. Look at this. Estimated central pressure. This is the current location, 945 millibars. Sustained winds, 110 knots, 135 knot gusts. 110 knots, guys, is 127 miles per hour. And when you get to 130, you're at a Category 4. We're almost at a 4 now, but 135, guys, is 150 mile per hour gust. Let me see, 155, excuse me, I got my chart. So we're just 3 miles an hour away from a Cat 4 with Cat 5 gusts. But that's not the bad part. Suddenly it's going to strengthen more and more. 125 knots by this afternoon, gust of 150 knots, and that's 173 mile per hour winds. But look right here. 135 knots with gust at 165. 135 knots, guys, is Cat 5. With 190 mile per hour gust. Look at that, 135, 165 knot right there. Now, you've got again, they're saying it's going to slow down to 130 knots with 160 knot gust, and that is at 130, 150 mile an hour. Still, 155, 156 is a Cat 5, and with that type of at 160, guys, you're still dealing with about 180 mile per hour gust. But that's what's coming. And again, the forecast is pretty much sticking to right where it was. I put this plot in right here, the last one before it comes inland. I'll show you that. Again, not much difference. This was the last plot that I showed last night. And this is the new one. What is it? Just a few miles further south, maybe 10 or 15, 20 miles further south. So, again, Venice, South Venice, Inglewood, Manasota Key areas. All of this, guys, right through, the same path through Central Florida, cutting across there. Much stronger. This is definitely the strongest storm of the year, maybe in a few years. And they've put up a storm surge map, but I think this is very conservative, and we're going to see this rise. 8 to 12 feet in the red areas. Tampa Bay, 8 to 12 feet. Charlotte Harbor, 5 to 10. Bonita Beach, that's the end of the 5 to 10, going up to Yankeetown, I guess, and then Suwannee River's right here. And that Suwannee River, guys, that area got hit pretty hard from what I understand. Blue areas are 1 to 3 feet from Indian Pass back there. And then all the keys, including the Dry Tortugas at 1 to 3 feet. Flamingo up this area all the way to Bonita Beach, you got 2 to 4 feet, 4 to 7. This is going to change with that much power. We could break that 20-foot surge record that we just saw with Helene, guys. Now, looking at the map, again, not much has changed. You do have a hurricane warning along the northern tip of the Yucatan. I expected that, just being the close proximity, but the center's not projected to go across it and slow down. And by 1 p.m. Wednesday, guys, storm setting out here. Let me say this as nicely as I can say it. With a Cat 5 with 190 mile gust, get the hell off the beaches. It's not going to be survivable. Not anywhere that storm surge is, and then the high wind is going to be so much worse than Helene was, guys. And just, like I said, get out of Dodge. One good thing about it is showing going out into the Atlantic and leaving all of our friends along up in the mountain areas right now. Moving at 8 miles per hour, it's picking up a little bit of speed. Went from 3 to 6 yesterday. Now we're at 8 in forward movement. That slow speed is giving it all the time it needs. This is going to really pull a lot of heat out of the Gulf of Mexico with this storm. Now, Sky Tower in Tampa put this up 28 minutes ago. Pretty much same area. Now, you do have the Navy model still on the northern edge right there. Canadian model is right in the center of this, going right through here. So we're still somewhere in this area, guys, but you saw that last projection on the map. Not much difference. Now, this is the CMC model. Pretty much the same thing we're seeing in the center of the cone. You'll see it barely graze the northern tip of the Yucatan. I don't think it's going to get quite that close. It's already got a pretty good eastward track coming right over pretty much the projected area. High pressure setting in very strong after that. Now, guys, this is Siesta Key down in the Sarasota area. Very quiet, calm before the storm. Look out there. Look what's coming, guys. You don't want to be anywhere near this area Wednesday. I can't overemphasize that enough. You're not seeing much here now, but that right there is a pretty creepy scene if you've seen these before coming ashore, like Camille, things like that, guys. You can just see it. It's buffering right now, but not much wind. Looks like the tide is out. Very calm. Just get ready. It's coming. And guys, this is the webcam at the southernmost point of the continental USA, 90 miles from Cuba. The Conch Shell Republic right there. And it's kind of buffering too. We've seen it worse than this, guys, but it's starting to feel it. I'd watched this particular camera last night before we went to bed. It was very calm there. Winds weren't picking up at all. Not much rain, but you can see it's raining off and on here as it's buffering. The winds are starting to really take effect. A lot of the west coast of Florida webcams along the area that we're watching are either buffering or not online at all. But this is what we got there on the southernmost tip. Guys, we're going to watch it very closely again. Cat 5 with 190 mile per hour winds. That's all you need to know. You need to move. Get out of the way. It's a heads up. We're watching it. Be safe.